Wait a second, I didn't know Santa Claus had a cousin living in Minnesota. I'm Jackie.
He not only repos cars, but ladies' hearts. I'm Justin.
Rubbin's racing unless you're this fucking guy. I'm Sam, and this is Repo Jake on Stinker Madness.
Hello and welcome to Stinker Madness, the podcast about bad movies. I messed it up again. I'm Justin, Sam, and Jackie are here as always. This week on the show, currently streaming on Freevee, but you can just get through Amazon Prime. I don't know why we need two things, but anyways.
That's my first question, but go ahead.
It's called Repo Jake, starring Grizzly Adams and the old man from The Wedding Singer. And that's it.
Harmon Philby.
Oh, wow. Jackie's bringing
Philby?
She's got everything all lined up. Look at her go. It's a rare
Yeah,
thing.
you know, I just wanted you gentlemen to know that although the last 9 years I've been completely fucking lazy about this podcast, I started bringing up the cast list so that I don't have to ask the ridiculous questions of which one was that, because I don't know anybody's name. So
Nice.
I just decided that I could follow along with Sam's interesting movie thingies if I had the cast list up, and then I could see their picture and I know who they are.
No, it's not that at all. You just loved Grizzly Adams so much that this week you've been inspired to Academia by Dan Haggerty.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
like,
I was going to say his name is not Grizzly Adams. It is Dan Haggerty. I've got it up.
he's the Jeremiah Johnson of Grizzly Adams.
Man, this guy's right up my alley.
Really?
Yeah,
Like-
he is.
Hunky stuff?
Oh, my God. I think he's hot.
He's you know, this is one of those
He used
weird...
to be a bodybuilder.
Oh, okay. He's a big dude. He, like, Reb Brown would struggle against this guy. He's just big. I'm curious. I mean, if this was like a fighting movie, if he must not be very athletic, because otherwise he'd punch a bunch.
He's like 60
yeah. Well, yeah.
in this. Like, you got to think about, he was in fucking Frankie and Annette movies.
Right, but at the
He's
same time,
fucking old.
He's never taken his
this
shirt
point.
off. That's the thing. Like, if this was a punchy movie, they'd have to take their shirts off, and we'd be like, is he shredded? Is he not shredded? But either way, I know that he is a big dude.
I believe he was pretty shredded back in the day, like in the 60s.
Okay. All right.
This is 1990.
Tell me, Sam, do you like movies about gladiators?
I do not.
Okay, all right. Just shirtless men.
I love movies about gladiators.
Would he have been around for any of the gladiator movies? Maybe like some Hercules stuff?
Why don't I just jump into this right
Jump
now
into
then?
it.
Dan Haggerty he's from LA. His dad was a union head for the filmmaker technicians union, so he probably worked at a lab. So this is, his path to getting into Hollywood or whatever. Being big, and then his dad's already in the union.
Okay.
So in the 60s, his first movie was Muscle Beach Party.
Muscle Beach Party.
Frankie and Annette,
Okay.
where he plays Biff Muscle Man.
Biff?
Nice.
So he must have been pretty fucking cut up.
Probably
I
had
did
his shirt
not
off.
care enough to go back and try to find any of that, because I will admit right now that I hate the Beach Party movies.
They're terrible. They're
Ja-
awful.
Jackie, where are you at on the Beach Party movies?
I don't even think I've ever seen one, but I'm looking up Biff Muscle Man here.
But
I don't think you're going to find
You're not
it.
going to find it. It's clearly he was like an extra that maybe had one line or
It's
something.
an extra.
Yeah.
He was an extra. Like he's Biff Muscleman. He's an extra in an Elvis movie.
Mhm.
Right after that,
Which
then
I would
he's
lump together. The Elvis movies and the Beach Party movies. I'm not interested in any of it.
the Elvis movies I think are better. I can't be bothered to find out for sure because I don't like them either.
Yeah.
I was hoping Jackie was going to say somewhere like, "Oh, I love the Beach Party movies," and I could like be like, "Why? I need somebody to defend the existence of this." You know why those even exist?
The Beach Party movies?
Yeah.
Cocaine?
No, because Gidget. Gidget was such a success
Yeah, okay.
that shit flew. And it's everything that Gidget is not, right? Like, Gidget is fucking great, but that shit sucks. And then after that, he's his title, he gets titled extra roles as bearded biker like 6 times.
All right. Yeah.
Like 6 times. He's in Easy Rider as an extra.
Okay, all right.
Which is odd, which is where he ends up getting bearded biker like 6 fucking times. Really nothing happens for him until Grizzly Adams.
Yeah.
And I did not know this because I didn't really care for Grizzly Adams. I didn't know Grizzly Adams other than the butt of several jokes.
Yeah. It was before our time.
Because it was 74 was the movie.
Okay. It's definitely before.
And then when they decided to make the series, it's like the guy from the movie never makes the series, right? It's always somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
But if your career trajectory is that of Dan Haggerty, you're in the show too.
Yeah.
While he was doing the show, he was at a restaurant in Los Angeles, and a waiter had a flaming drink and caught him on fire.
Oh my God.
He had
I
third
found
degree
his muscle
burns.
man.
Oh, Jesus, Jackie. We moved on from the muscle man. We're way past it.
Dude, yeah, he is jacked.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Now we know.
And I found a picture where he's got really short shorts on and he's got a big wiener.
Big wiener guy. Okay, I just don't see how he didn't end up as a superstar, Sam. Big wiener guy.
Big wiener guy, because he wouldn't cut his beard. One, he caught on fire, and that really put a hamper on the production schedule for Grizzly Adams, and it wasn't doing that well, so it eventually just gets canceled.
Getting caught on fire is, I think, not good. I think it's a bad...
It's not.
Yeah, I think it usually ends poorly. There's negatives to it, so no surprise there.
Do you know when they finally gave up on Grizzly Adams? Because there was a bunch of Grizzly Adams, at least 3 television events and TV movies.
I'm going to guess 92.
2000.
My God.
They did not give up on that shit until the year 2000.
Who was watching it?
Wow.
The year 2000, there will still be Grizzly Adams television events.
Who was watching it?
Isn't that right at the tail end of when Lifetime is just putting whatever on, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be a Lifetime thing.
Probably.
And then just imagine how Grizzly Adams was PG before it was on Lifetime, but they just have to make it more PG because that's how they roll. Imagine how shitty that is.
It would be terrible.
It would be terrible.
Yeah. Didn't he have a bear?
Yes, that's what the point of Grizzly... that was... So none of us know any Grizzly Adams is what I'm guessing, because I have Grizzly Adams trivia.
Okay. Probably not going to be good at it.
What was Grizzly Adams' first name?
Dan.
Jeremiah.
I didn't get to guess.
Well, sorry. It was dumb. None of us liked Great. I was hoping one of us liked Grizzly Adams. It was on reruns.
Yeah. Well, let's keep
None
playing.
of us...
It's not just the 3 of us here, Sam. There is a vast community listening right now, a global sensation that is Stinker Madness. So let's keep playing for the sake of our tens of fans.
That was all of the Grizzly Adams.
That's it? Was one question? Yeah. God damn it, you suck at trivia.
Did Grizzly Adams have a beard?
He did indeed.
Yes.
Also, did you know that Dan Haggerty pretty much never, no one ever saw this guy without the beard?
Yeah. Okay.
Except for the 1963 movie where he's Biff Muscle Man.
Right.
He doesn't have a beard?
He does not have a beard. It was very hard to recognize him.
So maybe the whole, living Grizzly Adams lifestyle actually hurt his career.
Maybe.
I don't know. At this point, by 90, this is he's old.
Mm-hmm.
He's not in good shape. The best is behind him. He looks bad in this. Also...
Wait. He looked good in this movie.
Look up Grizzly Adams and look at a picture of him when he's younger, and you'll be like, oh my God.
No, I think he looks better as an older gentleman. And
as a portly guy stuffed into a Jordache
You're
jacket.
talking to Jackie, Sam. It's not going to make sense. Trying to rationalize her thoughts.
And did you see the hair on that man? Full head of luxurious hair. I actually made the comment, I wonder how long it takes him to do his hair. Because oh my God, I don't care what age this man is. He was good looking back then, and he's good looking in this movie.
He wore the same clothes for 7 weeks.
Yeah, he did.
Everyone changes clothes except him. Dan Haggerty is an anime.
Yeah.
Well, he had a sweater look, and then he had his members-only jacket with a flannel.
Nope, that is a Jordache jacket.
Yeah, it's a Jordache.
Oh, okay.
the bad guy, Robert Axelrod, who's the voice of Zed from the Power Rangers, will wear a members only jacket later. But Dan Haggerty there is more Jordache in this movie because there's a bunch of Jordache pants, and you can just spot them because it's like they're jeans made to look not like jeans, kind of poofy and stupid, and all sorts of Jordache all over this thing. I had a Jordache. I had that Jordache jacket, I'm pretty sure. I felt like a total tool when I wore it.
He also had adorable, cute little slippers that he wore for the entire movie.
Yeah, he doesn't have shoes. He has slippers.
He's moccasins because he's Grizzly Adams, even when he's not Grizzly Adams, I guess.
In L.A.
Which landed him in films like this. After Grizzly Adams, he did a horror movie with Linda Blair. He did a bunch of shit like this. I was surprised at how many of these crappy action movies he's been in.
Like, that sounds all right with me because I haven't seen that. What's it called?
Yeah. Oh, crap.
Great.
He didn't even write
I remembered
down.
Elves. He's in Elves.
Yeah, he's in Elves, which we should probably do Elves at some point. But
it hasn't been available. That's why it never gets pulled the trigger on Christmas.
Yeah, but you did your research. You saw that Dan Haggerty and Linda Blair were in a movie, and you couldn't be bothered to write the title down? That seems like, hey, here's an episode.
I guess I hate Grizzly Adams because I just in my mind I was like, we'll do every Linda Blair movie but this one because Dan fucking Haggerty's in it.
Weird. 2 out of 3 Stinker Madnesses like Dan Haggerty. One does not.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think he's great.
Weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, the last movie he did was in 2000.
Okay.
It was it looks really bad. It's called Axe Giant: The Wrath of Paul Bunyan.
Ooh,
Oh my god, that seems like it's going to be an episode.
Well, that
you should probably preview that, Jackie.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to pick that unless you watch at least 20 minutes of it
that
first.
Could be Asylum bad.
I think it's an Asylum.
Yeah.
Or it's not. It's actually it's like an off-Broadway version of Asylum, right? Sometimes those are fun.
The
because that's
Institution.
what that spider movie that was so fun was like, kind of off-Broadway version of whatever, The Asylum.
Right.
So the guy that directed this is sort of interesting. His name is Joseph Mary.
Okay.
Merhi, Syrian-born. He saw a Humphrey Bogart movie and he's like, I must do this. And he graduates high school and he comes to America.
Okay.
He does not make it to Hollywood. He's washing dishes in New York. Eventually he makes it to Las Vegas where he starts his own chain of pizza companies called Pizza and Pizza. Pizza and Pizza.
Pizza and Pizza.
Making me think that he's like pushing the pizza so hard that the sign outside says, if you don't want pizza, you're in the wrong fucking place. So I'm like, I wonder, because he sells this eventually and starts making movies, but after he gets about 5 of these restaurants up and running, he sells it. And so I'm like, I wonder if Pizza and Pizza still exists. So I go to Pizza and Pizza's website and a picture of a fucking hamburger comes up. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh my God. You're kidding.
They have pizza, but they have wings, and you can get a fucking hamburger there. But with the name Pizza and Pizza, maybe when he was still running things, they weren't all fucking freelancing all over the menu. But right now, you go and their fucking hamburger comes up on their goddamn website.
That's pizza and stuff. That's not pizza and pizza.
Pizza and burgers and wings, and you can get it seemed like there was some good deals. There was like a lunch deal that was like 8 chicken wings and french fries for $7.99. Wow. I was like, I'm offended by the hamburger on here, but this deal looks great.
Well, I will be in Vegas at the end of October, so I will look up Pizza and Pizza.
Yeah, maybe.
So
He's an American.
He produced 125 films.
No, we're back on this guy. How do you get involved? Because he's an American.
He sold his
story.
Pizza and Pizza franchise
and made movies.
And moved to LA and started making movies.
Okay.
How do you just move to LA and start making movies?
Well, if you have a huge chunk of cash for selling 5 restaurants, you've got a head start on everybody else.
Yep. So
also, if you do like what he's doing here, which is obviously shooting without permits in 16 millimeter.
Very much so.
Also a head start.
Was it worth it? Getting rid of Pizza and Pizza. Did he succeed as a filmmaker, or should he stuck with flying
I will
pies?
answer that.
Okay.
because he produced 125 films.
Hey, all
Jesus.
right.
He directed 333 of them.
Wow.
By his fifth film, he runs into one Robert Zadar.
Oh, okay, all right.
And the collaborations will continue. In fact, we've probably watched some Robert Zadar movies that he produced, unwittingly knowing that these were his movies. By his 11th directorial effort, Jim Brown will be among the cast members.
All right.
He does movies with Gary Daniels, Don the Dragon Wilson, Eric Estrada, Lorenzo Lamas.
Cynthia Rothrock. Maybe.
It's not.
Damn it.
No, I don't, maybe not. He didn't direct anything. And from what I'm looking at, like, it seems like if you were going to get in on the game and you were somebody, he was going to direct a movie with you once at least.
Okay.
If you were going to get in on his little game that he had going here. But you made me lose my train of thought with Cynthia Rothrock.
Yeah, she does that to you. It's just like every time you hear her name, it's like a kick to the head.
And maybe because he's got Richard Norton in about 5 of these things.
Right.
So I could just look harder, maybe. I don't know. I looked pretty hard. I looked at this for like all last night and for like an hour today. I just like the who's who to put together possible future episodes. Riot, starring Gary Daniels, Charles Napier, Patrick Kilpatrick, and Sugar Ray Leonard.
Ooh, okay, all right.
Great. Now you're going off
Zero
of
tolerance. What?
Now you're going off of all these other people that I don't have the cast list for, and I'm like, no, I think I know who that is.
You don't have
Shit.
the cast list for Sugar Ray fucking Leonard?
I don't know who that is.
What the fuck?
He's the, I just want to fly.
Oh, God.
Put your arms around me, baby.
No, that's Lenny Kravitz. I hate that guy.
Lenny Kravitz? Lenny Kravitz is going to come to your house and tip over your fucking trash cans. That's insulting. You guys got fucking real talent. Jesus.
Oh, Jackie, you're so sweet.
All right. Yeah. Zero Tolerance, starring Robert Patrick, Titus Welliver, Miles O'Keefe, and Mick Fleetwood?
Wow. Jackie's like, who's Mick Fleetwood? No.
He's from Fleetwood Mac.
I know you know who Mick Fleetwood is.
Maximum Force,
Mick
starring
Fleetwood
Sam.
is the one that sings, I just want to fly.
No, that's Lenny Kravitz.
It's not. It's Sugar Ray, Jackie. That's why it was Sugar Ray Leonard joke.
Oh, that guy?
It's not a guy, it's a band. Sugar Ray Leonard is a guy. Sugar Ray is a shitty band.
Okay, now I'm up to speed. Let's keep going.
Maximum Force has Sam Jones, John Saxon, Richard Lynch, and Mickey Rooney.
Sam J. Jones?
Yep.
Penis guy? All right.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's going to go ahead. The first sort of movie he did a trilogy of them. It's called like a LA Heat, I think. And at the tail end of his movie producing, it happens around the late 90s. And he's going to sell the company, but he pushes through LA Heat into a TV series as sort of his swan song in producing. And he sells like right at the right time to get out, because it's like right after this is when all those reality shows are buying up rights. You've got Wynorski buying footage that he shouldn't have. So he like gets out of the shitty movie game right when it's at its primest value. And now he owns a bunch of hotels and shit. Okay. So he's rich as fuck.
Yeah. All right.
He made all these movies. That answers your question. What happened to this guy?
What an interesting
You can go to his website. He loves himself. You can go to his website and read all about him. That's what I did.
Okay. All right.
Who is he married to?
He doesn't say.
Mrs.
I think he likes all the ladies.
Yeah.
He likes dudes?
I feel like he has a pretty good finger on a pulse to where to find the strippers after seeing this one.
Yeah, no shit, huh?
Okay.
All right. What else? Anything interesting?
That's the most interesting thing about it, is that the Pizza and Pizza guy made a bunch of action movies, and we now have a new vein of prime bad action movies.
Well, I was looking at Dan Haggerty. Dan Haggerty? Is that Haggerty? Haggerty?
Dan Haggerty.
Yeah. I was looking at his filmography, and he's definitely got plethora of stinkers. Some alien bullshit, a couple alien movies.
Yeah, I was surprised to find out how many shitty movies Dan Haggerty was in.
Yeah. So.
And then the love interest in this, if you can call it that, the victim of erectile dysfunction, as I will call her, for the rest of the episode. Dana Bentley, she was in the Fredel and Ray, Bad Girls from Mars.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
What about
She's been in
Steve?
Wojnarowski. I think she was in the Hills Have Thighs too, with the Wojnarowski booby movie.
Mm-hmm.
What about Steve Wilcox, better known as Blondie in this movie?
Oh yeah, big deal.
Yeah, he's a super big deal.
What are you talking about?
Actually, she has the cast list up.
I know,
and she's pumping me for information on a guy who probably does like Christian music videos with whatever he can do to scrape together cash. Oh, no, look at this, Jackie. He was in Goldilocks and the Three Can't Read. Goldilocks and the Three Bears in 2008. Which looks like it was 3D animated by 12-year-olds.
Okay, all right.
He's also in The Sons of Anarchy, The X-Files, and The Forgotten.
Yeah, probably as an
extra. And
extra.
The Pretender.
As an extra.
He's not a person.
Look up Lenny Kravitz. That's what you need to be looking up right now.
No, I don't like Lenny Kravitz. He can suck a dick.
Whoa!
He can eat a turd. I'd not even suck a dick. That's too good for him. He can eat a turd.
I will give her the song that she is confusing Sugar Ray with, the I Just Want to Fly Away song, is arguably the worst piece of 90s music. It's generally just music in general. That song blows ass.
I can one-up you.
American Woman?
Butterfly by Crazy Town is just that, only shittier.
It's got a decent hook, Sam. It's got a decent hook. Fucking Fly doesn't have anything. It is trash. And like the rhyming scheme on it is like, what the hell are you talking about, Lenny? What happened to frickin' Are You Gonna Go My Way? That song was like liquid gold on fire.
Okay, wait.
And then
I hate that song.
Are You Gonna Go My Way is a badass song, Jackie.
No, it's not.
The drummer for Are You Gonna Go My Way ended up marrying Santana. Just as a side note that I learned a couple weeks ago.
Interesting.
Carlos Santana. He did I Just Want to Fly.
I thought you were talking about Barry Santana.
Barry Santana. Okay, let's do this movie. Repo Jake. So Repo Jake. Wait, he has a name. It's like Jake Baxter or something like that. They say it.
Jake Baxter. Yeah. Jake Baxter, former Marine Recon and race car driver.
Yeah, from Minnesota,
He's not.
New York City.
We'll find out later.
Yeah.
He's from the Bronx.
Yeah, from the Bronx. He's from the fucking streets, man. He was busting legs for the mob, and he's like, I can't do this anymore. I got to move to Minnesota. Minnesota, home of the Minnesota Vikings. Did you know that?
The best football team in the world.
Because that's how he says it. I'm from Minnesota, home of the Minnesota Vikings. And then he's like, or he gives a little fist bump too, and he introduces it. It's like, yeah, no shit, Minnesota is the home of the Minnesota Vikings. It's in the goddamn name, Jake.
Yeah. Also, the Minnesota Vikings stink in 1990.
It's true.
Like, they're terrible.
It's true. Yeah.
Name their quarterback.
It's not Dante Culpepper.
It's not, because that's post them trading for Cunningham in the mid to late 90s.
Yeah, Cunningham was there before. That's right. Yeah. Shit, man. I don't know. Anyways, we're going to move on from that.
He wasn't as good as Bubby Brister, because that's the crappiest quarterback who I can remember their name.
Yeah, okay. So he moves to the big city, L.A. He's there.
Oh, no. You gotta explain it better, because what's happening here is that this music sucks. It's like somebody opened a can of generic blues and it flew out like those snakes in the can of peanuts. It's just terrible.
It is glorious.
And I am already almost in tears laughing because the music's so bad. And I'm like, these aren't stock shots. He's shooting it in a way where he's copying stock shots, but he doesn't have any. So he's just making his own stock shots, and there's shitty music. And Dan Haggerty's walking to wherever from the airport with a TV in his hand.
Nothing on him but his bag of clothes and a portable television. And the song's over, and you're like, oh my God, we had to watch Dan Haggerty walk through the whole song. But then another song starts because we're not done watching Dan Haggerty just fucking walk around. My third line is walks and walks and walks. It's just like, you got off the bus. Get a cab, dude. The sun is setting. You're going to get stabbed. It's LA in the 90s. You don't know where you are. You're going to end up in South Park and get your fucking shit jacked.
But he did do a very cool thing during the walking scene where as he's holding his miniature TV in his hand, he pulls out money from his pocket and gives it to the street urchin that's playing his guitar. Like he's done this a million times. It wasn't difficult for him. He just smooth.
Yep. He's got street urchin money dialed up.
He's also wearing a flannel shirt and a jacket, and it's 80 fucking degrees
hot,
outside.
Man. God, get in an air-conditioned car. Instead of giving that bum some money, fucking call a cab, you jackass. Anyways, he sees a purse get snatched because you can't just walk around the streets of LA in 1990. And so they go on to destroy a pizzeria as he grabs this guy and throws him through a window. I'm assuming that this is a pizza and pizza.
I don't think so. No,
Okay.
This is just a restaurant because he's moved from pizza and pizza. This is in Los Angeles.
Good point. Yeah. It's too bad.
He throws the guy through the window, and the attendant, the employee of the business, just stares holding the phone. I got a good laugh out of that guy's acting as well. And then he's beating this guy up, and he like stands him up, and the guy just kind of looks at him and he's like, "You're a son of a bitch!" And then throws him through the other window again that's already been broken by this guy.
Right.
So the guy's already been broken through this window, and he goes through it again. And then he gives the lady her purse back and tells the man he just beat up to have a nice day.
Yep. You know, the thing about that pizza guy, Sam, that he can't be bothered to like hang up and call the police about this assault that's happening inside and destruction is because that's their guarantee. We will take your order and not hang up earlier or your pizza is free. Even they're the USPS of pizzas.
I would like to believe that he was already on the phone with the police from the robbery that just happened. And that's why he's so shocked and just staring because he's like, can I add 3 broken windows to my order?
It's happening again. Yeah. No, these are different guys. Okay. So the lady that he gets the purse back for, she's like, "Oh my gosh, you're the best. Is there anything I can do for you?" And he's like, "Actually, there is. I need a place to rent." And she's like, huh. Oh, you know what? I do have a place to rent because I'm an actual landlord. Like,
no.
How did that shake down?
No.
She's like,
she just lives in the apartment.
I've got a place right up ahead. That's my building.
No.
So the guy that lived across the way from her moved out. She knows that it's vacant.
She meant that it's the building where I live, not the building I own, because she says, yes, there's an apartment opened up in my building, like my possessive building. I got duped there.
You saw the landlord in the next shot.
No, I thought that she was the tenant manager. Because a lot of those buildings,
the
Sam,
tenant manager?
Yeah, what are those guys?
For the purse lady on the street?
No, if you own a building, you don't run the building. You hire a property manager, but they're called something. I thought they were a tenant.
It's called a property manager.
Tenant manager is the person that. Yeah. No, it's a property manager. If they're managing property, a building manager. Oh God, the guy that lives at on the first floor and he's
superintendent.
The super. Yeah, the super. I thought she was the super.
It's only a superintendent on the East Coast.
Right.
We don't call it that here.
Yeah, I guess that's true. We have to have fancy words like property manager and oxygen bars and shit like that because we're a bunch of pussies. Wait, I don't live on the West anymore. I'm just a boring Midwesterner. I don't even have an identity.
Do you guys have superintendents in the Midwest?
I don't know.
I don't know. We're out of the renting game, so we don't know what they're called.
Yeah. And also, we can't do that because nobody pays their rent here. Like, everybody's too poor, so they just live on the streets.
Yeah.
So
Also because she's like obviously hitting on him and he's just like, derp. But he's not even receptive to it. He's just like, I need an apartment. This is the very first time I write. The first of 6 times that I write down erectile dysfunction.
Well, it gets even weirder because he goes to this apartment and the apartment manager is quite the lady. The landlord.
She's a hooker.
She's got to be. She's got to be sure. I mean, that outfit is. She's either a mystic or a hooker. I'm not real sure.
I think that she's both.
And her name is Lavidia Croft. Lavidia Croft.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's probably a palm reader as well. They have a lot of that in LA. But she's like, okay, well, you can have it. You seem like a good guy, but if you bring any ladies here that stay extended period of time, I'm going to have to charge you an extra $100. And he's like, don't worry, that won't be a problem.
Also, his apartment only costs, because of erectile dysfunction. This is a commercial for Viagra.
She's like, oh, I thought you were a man of, So he asks her for directions for this repo company, and she tells him because she knows where repo companies are.
No, her first response to that was, do you owe money? And he was like, no, I just need a job there.
Well, it's a pretty valid question she's raising as a landlord. Repo, what are you doing involved with them? So I don't think that's weird, Jackie. I think that's checks out. So he goes to work, and he meets the team, and I know instantly this movie is bullshit because they are all working on cars, and none of them have a drop of grease on them. There is a guy wearing a red polo, and it looks like it just came off the rack.
Yep.
That's not how that works.
Nope.
I can't.
Also, why are they, you just get them and bring them back to the dealership.
Yeah, right? There's I got questions about this because, these guys, the whole team are repo guys. There's not like, okay, we've got 4 repo guys, and then we're also running a mechanic gig on the side because we got tow trucks and all that sort of stuff. They don't even have tow trucks. They don't do the tow truck thing. They try to get the keys. That's their repo ways. Or at one point there was mention of hot wiring, but at no point in time do they tow any of them. And,
no.
And then
they're stealing cars.
I think they're boosting freaking cars.
And that's a chop shop in there. And at the very beginning, Bulldog says, if I had the fucking keys, I'd have my grandma go get it.
Right?
So they're stealing them.
They're stealing them. I think they're, yeah. But then that doesn't line up because we'll get to that later. Well, okay, but they're either a repossession thing with a mechanic job on the side, or they're boosting cars and chopping them up. I'm not sure.
The sign did say that it was an auto, that they're actually a mechanic outfit as well. I don't know. Again.
Yeah. Well, you can't be like you're a mechanic / repo guy. You got to have a mechanic and repo guys because I want my valve cover gaskets done on my 72 Ford Bronco, and you're out there repoing cars. I need my car back, dude. Well, here, take this LTD instead.
Doesn't know how keys work.
Okay.
Because you wouldn't, if you were a repo guy, you wouldn't be like, I'm going to save myself the trouble from getting the keys. If you have the VIN, you just go down and get a key that it's going to work with it. There's only so many keys for the cars.
During this era before the electronic keyless.
Before the electronic thing, there was really only it was a 1 in 20 chance.
Yeah.
You could open somebody else's car.
Okay, so this other repo guy comes in. His name is Lippy, and he has failed once again to repo a car. He is the worst repo man, and I don't know how he's still doing it because the way that the repo business works in this movie is you get paid when the car comes back, and you get 3 months of payments worth.
No. If the payment's $300, you get $300.
Right. Okay. So
you get 3 times what the. No, I think that's what it's. You get exactly what the monthly payment is on it. Is what you get.
All right.
For
no, you get 3
car.
times that.
Okay, there you go. That's what I thought too. So
I thought that would be. So he's gonna repo because this now all of a sudden is just too much cash rolling out to these guys.
A lot of money.
Because that Taurus was like a $500 payment. Did you hear that?
Well, yeah, right. So that's $1,500.
It's like $1,500.
That's good payola. You're doing that
like
every day.
He doesn't even need to do the rest of this movie because in 2 weeks he'll have the money he needs.
Right. Yeah,
His rent's only $550 at the apartment.
And sometimes they're doing 2. Like, I mean, they come in and they get their notes, and sometimes there's 2 cars, and it's not saying that like he doesn't come in and get multiple notes per day of cars to get, but at the minimum, he's got like 2 a day. So that's like maybe $3K. I mean, and it eventually makes $3K in one day. I mean, this can't be legal. It can't be. Otherwise, we'd all be doing it. Big money.
Well, I guess you don't have to know how to steal cars, though.
They don't even steal them. They get the keys, Sam.
Sometimes.
Okay. All right. So, this guy, he's like, I fucked it up. They're all like, you suck at repoing and jib, jab, jab. And Jake's like, well, I can do it. Okay, go ahead. And it's pretty weird. It's this Taurus that we were just talking about.
Yeah.
This is a weird thing that happens here.
I'm guessing this is the show. It has to be.
Maybe.
It's even the super high output wasn't worth that much kind of cash.
Right.
So the guy that owns it knows that it's going to be repoed, so he's just not going to get out of it. He's just spinning cookies.
He's just hot dogging.
He's just freewheeling all over the place, driving around Dan Haggerty in circles, being like, no, can't get me. And then he gets out and he's like, all right, Repo Man, here's the keys. And he throws him his keys because he's got a spare key. I would have done it the other way around, personally, but and kept the keys to my house and not given them to Dan Haggerty. But this guy has decided to throw caution to the wind and has just give all of his keys to Dan Haggerty. And then when Dan Haggerty goes to pick up the keys, he runs into him with his car. And then it's like a repo rodeo. And the music's all and it's just, whoa, no!
He's hanging on.
So weird.
He's hanging on, and he has got grip of steel. Dan Haggerty or the stuntman, I'm not sure which is which, or unless they're the same guy, but whoever's hanging on to that car is doing a pretty goddamn good job of hanging on to that car, not getting ran over.
And has to have a pretty decent wingspan to actually grab the 2 sides of the windshield like that. And then after this little Ford Taurus rodeo, he's just like, good job, Repo Man, you've earned my car. And it wanders off.
And my respect.
And my respect. And I'm too drunk to be driving anyway, because he's drinking a Budweiser while he's doing this. It's great.
Is. And he's got cheerleaders who are also just on the side of the road drinking beer, watching this whole thing going, yeah! I mean, are they his pals? Or did they just like stumble upon this fucking loony scene and are like, yes, Saturdays in LA, baby. Fucking Chili Peppers are like, see, we told you. So back at home, Jennifer, the purse lady, her name's Jennifer.
Jenny.
She gives him a houseplant because she's a failed actress / florist. That's what she does. Yeah. She's not a barista. She's a florist.
Did she say florist? Because I'm pretty sure she's like, I work at a plant store.
She is part of the welcoming committee, gentlemen, and she waitresses on the side.
The welcoming committee for who?
The building.
Where did the plant come from, Jackie? She said she works at the plant store.
She's like, she said I work at a plant store.
She does. It's in my notes. Sam, you can't be wrong. She works at the plant store.
That's true. Okay, I stand corrected.
Oh, my God. Anyways, he's like, oh, okay, well, that seems pretty nice. And what are you still doing standing there? And she's like, can I come in? And he's like, oh no.
And then I write down erectile dysfunction.
Nope, it's not happening today. Plus, I'd have to up my rent. But so that scene's done. So now he goes back to work and he's got a repo a fucking chopper. This guy is late on his chopper payments, which I guess is $1,000 a month because he's going to get paid $3,000 for repoing this chopper. And because he was in the military, he knows how to fly choppers. And the repo guy, Bulldog, who gives him assignments, is like, can you fly a chopper? He's like, well, I was in the military. I worked on them and did all sorts of stuff, flew them all around. That's not what I'm saying. Can you fly a chopper? Well, yeah, it's like riding a bicycle. Once you do it, you're good. That's not, you're not answering my question. Can you fly a chopper? Yes, I can fly a chopper. You're still not answering my question, says Bulldog. Yeah. No, he told you he can fly a chopper, Bulldog. Jesus, you need it written down and like with diagrams and like pew, pew, pew marks like you did when you were a kid with choppers. Jesus, yeah, I'm good. So he gets in this chopper.
This chopper never does show up at the chop shop.
Where would they put a chopper?
You can't just drive it into a garage bay, Jackie. They come from the sky.
Okay.
Where do you think he took the chopper? Like directly to the client or something? And then when he got there, they didn't go, hey, would you like a much higher paying job flying helicopters?
No shit. And he's like, higher paying, dude. You should see what I fucking take home is. It's ridiculous.
And they were like, what the fuck?
There's no way that this thing is legal because I'm getting paid too much. And so then the cops come and they bust him and it's all over. So he does have to take that job on account of his big fucking flappy mouth. What do they think they do with like when they repossess the yachts, like the Russian oligarch yachts? Where do you suppose those go? The LA Harbor?
I don't know.
They're just sitting out there? Because it's not like you can put them in a warehouse. They're a fucking boat.
You can't. You'd have to put them in a shipyard. And you'd have to dedicate maintenance people to them.
Yeah, and or guys. Like, because if it's just for shits and giggles, let's say they're in the LA Harbor. I'm down staying the week in Long Beach. Oh, hey, look, there's the Queen Mary. Also, there's a freaking $6 million yacht or whatever the hell these things are worth just sitting there. Let's go get on it. So you have to have guys, and those guys probably have guns. Otherwise, people would just fuck around on them all the time.
Well, did you see that those protesters fucked up the Walmart lady's yacht?
No.
Yeah.
The Walmart?
Look that up.
Okay.
The heiress to the Walmart, she's got a fucking super yacht. Like, it's like aircraft carrier big, dumb shit. Not that big. It's just really fucking big.
Okay.
And they spray painted shit all over it and yeah.
Dicks. Veiny dicks.
Veiny, hairy dicks.
I don't know if your dick is hairy. That's weird.
My yacht, it's ruined.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're making drawings. You could like draw like a penis palm tree with hair coming out of the end of it. It's art, Jackie. Come on.
Okay.
Back to the chopper. This guy, he doesn't want to let go of his chopper. Literally. See what I did there?
Yeah. So you're like, this movie's really low budget. It's got Grizzly Adams in it. I do not expect to see a helicopter stunt. And there's a whole helicopter stunt sequence. And you're like, how the fuck did he pull that off?
Yeah, no shit. Eventually, this guy does let go of his chopper. And I guess he gets the chopper. He gets that sweet $3,000. Meanwhile, Lippy, or whatever his name is getting his face torn off by a Pontiac Bonneville because he laid underneath it and the car drives away.
And he's like trying to steal it or whatever, repossess it. And then the lady comes out and gets the paper and kisses her husband who's going to work in this car. Does it seem like he's behind on his payments?
It does not. These do not seem like repossessed people.
No. And the guy's kind of a nerd. I'm sure that he would be easily overpowered for the keys to this vehicle.
Not by this Lippy guy, though.
No, because they're not, it's subterfuge, Jackie. They're not repossessing. They are stealing these cars. They have to be. There's no other way that this can work. I'm all in on car theft. But yeah, you can't lay under a Bonneville and have it drive over you. There's no ground clearance. You're fucking dead. So Jenny, she has him over for dinner, and dinner sucks, I guess. She didn't do a good job cooking.
Eats some of it, but she's like, my mom warned me this would happen.
She warned you what would
happen.
And
then he goes,
that you'd have
did she warn you about, what's that?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. What'd she warn you about?
Well, he goes, did she warn you about anything else? And she's like, yeah, old fat guys with erectile dysfunction. No, but and then she doesn't say anything. And you're like, she warned you that if you tried to make somebody dinner, you'd fuck it up? Is that what she warned you?
Spaghetti marinara is going to get ruined because you overboil things? That's what she warned you of? Like, you didn't put salt or pepper in this? That's your mom's life. This is, fuck your mom.
You'll never get a man if you don't know how to cook.
I mean, it's bland, but your mom fucking had to sit you down one day and say, look, there's something important we have to talk about, and it's salt and pepper. And if you don't put it on it, the food's going to be bad. That's what I'm warning you about. Take that with you as you go on into life. Goodbye, my child.
If you don't listen to me right now, you're going to end up with no sex working at a plant store.
Why? Why don't I put salt and pepper on my food?
You'll be dumping ragu on shitty noodles in front of fat old guys wearing jackets when it's 90 degrees outside.
Oh, mother. If I'd only listened to you. I'm a fool. And then she jumps out the window because it's all over. Okay. So he reveals that oh boy, my notes get. So we had to go get Taco Bell while we watched this movie, and my Taco Bell was a disaster because Taco Bell always is. I mean, you can't multitask with Taco Bell. They're tacos. Even concentrating while eating them, they go everywhere. All the shit falls out. You got lettuce and sauce and cheese, and it's just a disaster. So I was being very careful while also trying to write notes at the same time, while I had my paper on the arm of the chair that I sit in, and I couldn't actually see what I was writing. I was guessing that I was writing legible.
Yeah. Are you talking about the crunchy tacos?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they always get you into the crunchy tacos, and there's no way, they just explode. They don't, you can't get, so I actually just started slapping myself in the face with them, and I get more in my mouth that way.
Yeah, just chuck them. Just chuck them at yourself. Odds are higher. Okay, I translated. He reveals that he needs money fast, or his home in Minnesota is going to get repoed. That's why he's here repoing.
It's worse than that. What he says is, well, I had my own repo business in Minnesota, but then the highway came through and took the land. And if I don't... So there's already a highway there. Mm-hmm. So what the fuck? They're going to repo his shop now? They've already built a highway over your home. Mm-hmm. Why do you care about your shop at all at this point? And then they are like, if you don't give us the money from us fucking up your life, we're going to take away more of it. And he's like, you didn't pay me for my house. I received a bill for $60,000 for you paving over my home.
See, I took this a different way, that when they put in the highway, he got Route 66. And like the town dried up and everybody moved away and I had no jobs. Well, there's still cars that can be repoed in Minnesota. And he's like, yeah, but I can't. It's better here, baby. This is big business out here. Yeah, because you're not repoing or thieving.
You're making $10,000 a day stealing cars.
Either way, the highway came in and ruined that man's life. Thanks, Joe Biden.
Yeah.
fucking infrastructure. God damn it, sons of bitches. First, you bury a town in, I don't know, Mississippi in water and just make out of the, and then the Rust Bowl, or the Dust Bowl and the Rust Bowl, and fuck, god damn it. And he lost World War II, Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Trump said, our real president. Yep.
You're an ass. Be quiet.
I'm not kidding. Trump literally said that Joe Biden lost World War II. And
oh my God,
who's
are
a
you
fucking
serious?
old insane person?
They're both too old.
No, but which one is an actual old insane person? God damn it! Fuck! Fucking 30% proof. Kiss my ass. Joe Biden's a great president. Okay, so he's like, okay, the weird thing about your mom warning you, all that. I could spend a lot of time on that, and we have. But I gotta go. What? You had 2 bites? Yeah, I gotta go repo cars because I scheduled a date at the exact point in time that I also have to go repo cars.
No, that
doesn't
was an
make any
excuse
sense.
to get the hell out of there because the food was gross. And he had spit it out in his napkin, and he was like, I gotta jam out of here before she realizes that I just spit my food back into the napkin.
Busy bee!
And how do I know that that's a thing? Well, I used to do it.
Yeah, still do. So I call him a mark because they're thieving cars. I don't know what the actual repo-e is called in the English language, but this guy's a mark. He's a big guy. Comes at him with a crowbar, and they're
fucks up somebody else's car.
Yeah,
really bad. And he's overpowering the Jake Baxter, so Jake resorts to nut grabbing.
The nut grab. I got your balls and your keys to your children's future. Yeah. See that? Now actually give me your car keys. The crown jewels. I'm gonna crush them. Crushing the... Okay. Wedding tackle. Okay. So then he spends his nights alone instead of with Jenny, who is very much attracted to him. He watching cowboy movies and eating whole grain bread that he tears apart and dips into a bowl of undeclared substance.
It looked like porridge.
Well, at least it's got fucking salt and pepper in it, Jenny.
Old-fashioned people are too modern for me. I'm a fucking caveman.
And like, he is so intense on watching this cowboy movie, he can't even look down at the bread that he's tearing up and dipping it. He's just laser focused. And I thought it was going to go somewhere like, ding dong, somebody's, oh, damn it, my freaking cowboy movie. But no, that's just, we get a shot of him doing this as if this is his life. Because on account of the erectile dysfunction.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So then I get some more repos. Skid, or I can't remember, Scat, whatever. One of the repo guys. He has to go
Skid
after.
Mark.
Yeah, he has to go after a Winnebago. And as he knocks on it, there is a lady in there, and she's like, "Oh, you can't take my Winnebago." And he's like, "Oh, man, them's the breaks. I'm sorry, I got it." Well, isn't there something we can work out between each other? Like you eat my breasts? Because that's what he does.
Yeah, he motorboats her too. He actually does a real motorboat. And then she's like, "Quit chewing on my breasts. You can nibble them, but you're eating them." She hits her head on the cabinets.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, Skidmark is not good at the sex.
Meanwhile, one of the other guys has repoed a dirt bike, and he's out there shredding some gnar while getting chased by freaking Chuck Norris in his sweet-ass Blazer.
The voiceovers in this are just incredible.
Oh, they're so bad and great.
He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you now. Oh, it's my motorcycle. I'm gonna get you. It's so weird.
And he's just freaking heel clickering and Supermaning all over the freaking dunes and doing donuts. And then it's like, car chase, boobs, car chase, boobs.
Yeah.
Back and forth. It cuts back to the boobs twice during this motorcycle chase. It's great. Great editing. Oscar nomination. So, Jake's repoing that day involved driving through a garage door in a Lincoln.
I think it was a Buick Regal.
Yeah, it might have been. Big car. It was a big car. Drove through a garage door. You can't do that in a small car. No Mini Cooper's ever driven through a garage door, Sam. You got to have a fucking Detroit Steel for that shit.
Yeah.
So then they take him to the racetrack, and it's called the Super Smash something rather. I don't know. It's a 8. It's a circle 8 or figure 8, and so when the cars get to the middle of the 8, they can sometimes crash into each other. And one guy had his throat torn out.
How does that work?
Well, he didn't pay his bar tab, and Dalton grabbed it and just took it right out. It was unrelated, but one time a guy had his throat ripped out. No, I don't know. Maybe it went through the windshield. Like, oh, Jackie? Looked like you had some thought to share about carnage at the automobile racing.
Well, you stole my
circuit.
joke, you fucking
Dalton.
bastard.
Yeah,
I was going to bring up the Dalton thing, and then you were like,
it's there.
Snatch and grab it. And I'm like, oh, that was my joke. God damn it.
It's the hat trick. Okay.
And then we get introduced to King at this point.
Right. Sort of. Yeah,
And
Lincoln
we
King.
don't know why the fuck this is happening. Because we're going to discover that this is our villain, sort of.
Sort of.
But right now, he's just some guy.
Yeah, he's a big-time criminal. Now, he's not even a big-timer, but he's a pimp, and he's a pusher, and what else? I don't know.
He's a drug seller.
That's a pusher, Jackie.
Oh, well, I don't do drugs, so I wouldn't know that. But he also looks like Barry Manilow. Old Barry Manilow.
A bit. I was also thinking ugly Eric Roberts.
Rod Stewart.
Oh, he does look a little bit like Rod Stewart, yeah.
He's the voice of Zed in the Power Rangers.
Okay.
Among other voices. He does a lot of voices. He did a lot of voices for the Power Rangers, I guess.
Okay, so Lincoln, we're now in his narrative because he goes and meets with this dude named Mr. Covard.
Who I have just decided his first name is Ernie.
Ernie Covard. Okay, why?
Because it sounds like Bernie Kosar.
Oh, that sucks, Sam. Take it back.
No,
I don't.
Bernie's awesome.
I don't like it. I don't like it. No.
Anytime I can rhyme with Bernie Kosar, I'm going to do it.
It's not even close.
Ernie Kovar, Bernie Kosar. It's perfect. Ernie, Bernie, Ernie. They met, right?
You know,
Bernie's like, sounds pretty good, man.
My mother warned me about this. Okay, so yeah, he owes this Bernie Kosar guy some money. And he's like, you know what? I could blow you away right now, but I'm in typical this movie fashion, this scenario in these movies. You got more time, so you better get that money or I'm going to kill you. Okay. I like that.
Well, it seems like this is not the first time that he's threatened this guy.
No, it can't be.
I wonder if he has like a 3 strikes and you're out policy, because...
What are you doing getting into people if you're pimping, right?
Right.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Is this where he gets his drugs and he's like, well, I sold all the drugs and I kept that money. And he's like, good, I'm going to kill you and find a better drug dealer. Like, how do you get into this guy for $53,000 without being a total nutsack?
Right. Waldo gets some makeup put on him because he's sleeping.
And it's like, oh, how embarrassing for Waldo. But you can't, when he goes out into the daylight, you can't even tell it's on him.
It goes absolutely nowhere. Nobody even looks at him. He's stealing cars. It's not like he's making public appearances at the fucking local library, guys. He's sneaking around cars and thieving them. Nobody's supposed to see him. And also, why do you have lipstick? dudes, hey, Gary, get the lipstick. This is a shop, man. We have fucking ratchets and impact drivers. We don't have lipstick. How about we draw a penis on him in fucking grease? That'll get him. That's something we can do here. But you have lipstick. God damn it, you're right, I do.
Yeah.
I think that they should have went with Sam's artistic touch there with the palm tree with the leaves coming out of the top on him.
Right.
I think the reasonable explanation is they have the lipstick because Blondie was J. Edgar Hoover for Halloween.
Checks out. Yep. Okay. All right, so yeah. The guy that Waldo gets the car from is at the gas station, and he's so shocked he just keeps pumping gas into the air.
Into the air.
And in today's modern society, I weep like the Native American man on the side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's like $50, guy.
Yeah.
I want that gas.
It's worse than a gasoline fight.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That was immediately what I thought. It was the gasoline fight in Zoolander.
Oh, man. It's cherished, pressured stuff. All right, so Jake goes back to the racetrack, and Bobby's there, and he's got a car, and he's like, Jake, this car's bitching. It's going to win everything, and there's a huge race coming up, but I need a favor, an investment, if you will. I need $3,000 to make the $5,000 entry fee. If I win, you get that money back plus another $15,000 out of the $75,000 championship pot.
And then Jake goes, "We'll just go to work tomorrow and you'll have $5,000."
Correct. Done. So he's like, "Oh, well, can you drive?" And he's like, "Yeah, I can drive. Watch this." He gives him 2 laps, and he comes in and he's like, "What time do I got?" And he's like, 1 minute and 47 seconds. And Jake looks at it and he's like, now give me the keys. And he gets in and he does a lap and he does it in 37 seconds. He's a minute 10 faster.
And over double as fast. So if he was racing against him in a 10-lap race, when he was done with the race, Blondie would have 6 more laps.
Correct. I mean, math doesn't, okay, whatever. He's like, yep, I'm a pretty good racer. Okay. Elsewhere, Lincoln is being Lincoln. He's being a pimp, and he's telling this lady, go book a bunch of pool or you can't have your drugs. And then he busts into this porno shoot, and he fucking tells the director how to freaking do it. But the script. Fuck your script. Wait, you're also making pornos?
You're making porn. You've got hookers. You're probably on a strip club for a front. How do you get into a guy for 53 grand and not be able to pay him back immediately?
Porno shoots are expensive, dude. I mean, not like fucking a Michael Bay movie or anything, but how did you get... Also, just do the porno thing. You don't need all this other shit. Porno's legal. Just make the porno. That fucking porno lady was hot.
The money in porn is way better than anything he's doing.
Let the porno director shoot. It seemed like he was doing a good move. He's making a fine picture right there. You know? Got a bunch of chicks on a bed. Some dude about to have a great day, you know?
Some other dude that's like, I'm going to eat the boobs. He actually just smashes his face into a boob. Like, bah! Just get in there.
That was hot in 1990, Sam. It's a real big deal. All right, so he's bad at business. Blondie, because I wrote down Bobby this whole thing, so I'm going to fuck that up. He's got a repo Lincoln's car, his Mercedes SL, and he gets nabbed while doing it.
Wait, you keep calling him Lincoln, but his name is King.
His first name is Lincoln.
Lincoln King.
Lincoln King.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. King's just a little... Lincoln is distinctive. His name is Lincoln. I know who you're talking about. All right, so Blondie gets nabbed while doing it, and I guess they twist his arm too much, and so he hurts his hand, and so now he can't race the car, and Jake's got to have to do it.
No, they slam his arm into the car door with the car door.
Okay. Ouch. Bummer.
He's got a broken arm either way.
So now we've gotten to the plot of this movie, I think. I think an hour into this thing, and we now have the semblance of a plot, because the rest of this was just guys going and repoing cars.
And boobs.
And boobs.
And boobs. And stunts.
Yeah. Okay. So Jake is going to race. But Jake goes to Lincoln, and he asks for the keys to his car. He's like, I'm going to repo your car. He's like hell you are. And he smashes his balls and roughs him up, and he gets the car, and he drives it back, and now he's the hero of the shop.
He kicks the shit out of both of these guys.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he beats him up pretty good.
And then he like throws the camera at the security guy, and it's like, expose this, and punches him. It's
great. It's great. So Jay, this is also the rest of how this movie's gonna go, because now we're at the point where Jake and Jenny are spending most of their time just up on the roof of the building, drinking wine, and
beer out of wine glasses,
and not banging.
Erectile dysfunction is written 3 times on this page that I just turned to.
She's like, so I've been thinking about it, and I think you're really great, and every time I look at you, I get this funny feeling inside my stomach, and I think it's time we need to move to the next level. He's like, no. Let's practice your lines. You got a big audition. Let's practice your lines. Anything to distract from that conversation that I am not going to be able to assist you with and perform at, but I'm going to try this acting thing and help you out. And she's like, oh, finally.
So he's like, she goes, do you want another beer? And he's like, I guess so. You don't need this wine glass, but whatever. And then she goes inside to get one, but I guess the villains just followed him home.
I don't know, but you skipped way ahead because
did I?
Yeah, because she.
Oh, this is the script reading part.
The script reading part.
Okay, no, never mind.
Sexy, and she's like, "Give me some of those lips," and he's like, "Oh no! I have to go walk the streets," and he just walks the streets and goes to the freaking guy on the street that makes balloon animals, and the balloon animal guy's like, you want me to just blow this up like a big penis that works? And he's like, hey, you son of a bitch, no, give me a fucking dog for that kid over there.
Give me a poodle for the kid.
What did you know about
They don't
that?
have Viagra yet. It's 1990. They didn't need it. There's cocaine everywhere.
Yep. So he goes back to drinking on the roof with Jenny, and there he reveals that he was in the time trials of the Indy 500 and did such a great job, probably 1 minute and 10 seconds faster than anybody else, and that he was going to win the Indy 500. But, you know, the thing is that while he was doing those time trials, his wife kind of died, and he kind of knew that she was dying, and instead he went auto racing. And so after she died and he came back, and the doctor was like, sir, I'm afraid your wife has passed. And he's like, huh. Do I want to do auto racing anymore? I don't think I do.
Also, he's like, yeah, I was doing the time trials and I had the fastest time trial. It was fast enough to win. Ask fucking Mario Andretti, or not Mario, Mark, with the son. The Andretti. You know what I'm talking about? Not John.
Is it relevant? Is it super
Mark?
important to the joke? I mean, are we not going to understand?
No, I fucked it up already. Well, he was the fastest guy in time trials every time, and he blew the fucking car up halfway through.
Okay.
Well, either way, he was like...
Michael Andretti.
Either way, he goes, I gave up racing at that point, but now I really wish I would not have. Like,
dude, you went racing instead of being with your dying wife in the hospital. Are you fucking kidding me? You suck, sir.
What was your wife dying of? I crashed the car on her side on the way to the racetrack.
I mean, man, I was hauling ass, though. You should have seen it. Woo! Took flight. I started to lift off, and I had to slow down a little bit. When I slowed down, I just drove her straight into the back of a semi.
Yep.
She died. But for me, it was good for me because I ejected straight into my race car and just kept driving. Time trials, that's how I was so fast. I got a flying start. Wife didn't make it, though. But fuck her. Because that's what he's like. This guy sucks.
And then it's like, okay, so you were a Marine, then you were a race car driver. You're like, I'm sad, so I'm going to move to Minnesota and be a repo man?
I'm still not real clear what he was doing in Minnesota. I think he was just chopping wood.
I thought he had his own repo shop in Minnesota.
I don't know, but either way,
I don't know what's going on.
Either way, Jenny, you mind going and getting me another beer? No, you go get it yourself, you fucking horrible person. I don't want to be romantically involved. You chose to go do sports instead of holding the hand of your spouse and partner who you made a commitment to, sickness and health. Not sickness and health unless there's fucking sports happening, you son of a bitch. Go get your own fucking beer. I'm done with you.
Well, in his defense, they had been, having some problems lately.
In the bedroom.
She was being really needy. Always asking him to come and visit. Hold my hand. Tell me you love me. And he was like, at that point, I just couldn't deal with her shit anymore, so I just went to the time trials.
Come and see me sometime.
Come and see me die.
Okay. All right, so she goes to go get more beer, and Lincoln's got her. So yeah, how did he even know that they were involved together?
And they're at her apartment.
They're at her apartment.
Yeah. Dubious.
Dubious.
And also, he comes in and he's like, this beer's taking too long, god damn it. And a guy bear hugs him and subdues him.
Yeah, right.
You've been like a fucking bearded war machine, but then the bear hug gets him.
Yes. And she's strung up on a milk carton, with the hangman's noose around her neck with baling twine, basically. Like, dude, that rope is not going to support your weight of your body. Also, it's hung with drywall. Drywall will also not support the weight of your body. You are not in danger.
That's not what baling twine looks like, sweetheart.
Oh, yeah?
It's heavy twine.
You're telling the guy that grew up on a fucking ranch what baling twine is?
Baling twine looks like, yeah. They have different weights of it, Jackie. Yeah. That's baling twine.
It's not hangman's
I've only seen
rope.
the orange kind.
Bodies are... I mean, she's not a big lady, but she'd still snap that rope immediately. Also, the drywall problem. Yeah. You're fine. You're fine. Kick his ass. So Lincoln says, no, I got a lot of money on you in this race, so you're going to win. He's like, I was planning on it, or else.
Okay. Because this is always you got to take a dive situation.
Right, this is a dive.
I don't actually need to be here doing this.
Yeah, I mean, this is a dive situation. You take a dive, you lose the race because I'm betting on Doug or whatever. And if you don't, I'm going to fucking kill your girlfriend. And now he's like, oh, Jesus, if I won the race, I could have paid off my fucking whatever house repossession thing.
The highway debacle.
But now I'm stuck. And he makes the right choice and saves his lady's life, and they live a struggling life in LA, but at least they have each other. That's the movie that usually would get written. That is not what is happening here. Win that race or else. Dude, I wasn't planning on trying to lose, dumb nuts.
Yep. What are we doing here exactly?
Why are you here? Well, I want you to know that I'm rooting for you. Okay. Tell me that at the track. I mean, also pay your fucking bills, guy.
Yeah.
You're fucking pissed at me.
Jesus.
You couldn't make your car payment to just a bank. And also you're indebted to a gangster? I mean.
What is going on here?
Oh, that's because.
And then he's like, okay, well, bye.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, are you okay, Jenny? And she wants some water. And he comes back and he tells her to go to Colorado for a month.
Right.
And then throws a bunch of money at her.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like $5,000.
$5,000. Make this in a day.
She does not go to Colorado.
No, she doesn't. But did you also know she never gives back his money?
No.
She has spent that shit on drugs.
Drugs? Really? Jenny? She's a sweet, kind, caring, loving person, Jackie.
She's from the block.
The block?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, God.
She's doing it again.
Yes! I finally got it in there.
No, that's got it in there. That's take it out.
She's still Jenny from the block. Used to have a little, now she's got a lot. Because she hit up her sugar daddy, who looks like hot.
Take it out and throw it in the trash. That joke stinks, Jackie.
Awesome joke.
You want to put it in there someplace, put it in the toilet and flush it, because yuck. That is gross. That is like, Okay, so it's race time. And we're going to go through this pretty quick. This is the unfortunately worst part of the whole movie because it takes way too fucking long. But Jake is winning.
The race there's so much money in this race that it can't make sense. But then they try to explain why there's too much money in the race.
Right. And there's like tens of people there.
And everybody that's there is a deranged gambler.
That has buckets of cash to shut down on a fucking demolition derby. Just other betting avenues, guys. Like
Santa Anita's a great time.
Santa Anita's right fucking there. Not clunkers not going. I mean, okay. Also, there's no way that this could be financed. Like, with the amount of people that are there, you go up to the betting table and you throw down your rubber band wad of cash, crisp 100s. They're going to look at you like, we don't have the capacity to deal with a bet that size. We have like a $500 limit, bud.
They're betting each other.
It
doesn't make any sense.
That's not how bookies work.
It's not how it works.
It's not how it works. Okay, so Jake is winning. But then he just starts slowing down for some reason. But my only thought is that he got kind of tired. Like, he's getting sleepy.
He's just old and weird.
He just slows down for no reason.
I think because it was getting really congested and he knew that there were going to start being accidents. And so if he backs off, they'll automatically take themselves out of the race. And it does work.
No.
A lot of them do crash.
Jackie, you know how you avoid other cars crashing? Stay in fucking first.
Stay in front of them.
Everything that's behind you is not your problem. That is not how racing works, sweetheart.
No.
I'm going to slow down to win. Okay. No. So he just gets sleepy or something. And then there's this huge big crash and explosion. People have now died. And the
explosion ripped another guy's throat out.
Yeah, right. And he just stops right at the finish line and loses the race. Does he get out and run to the explosion and try to pull bodies out to try to save some people's lives? No, he just sits there. Huh. What you doing, Jake? Thinking. And then he just goes home to Jenny. Like, the man who is sitting there at the racetrack, you can see him, he's doing the finger over the neck thing. And you're just going to go home where you know that he is going to be waiting for you and your girlfriend because she said, I'm not leaving. It's not happening. I'm also watching. I'm also in the stands. I just watched that guy do the finger thing over his throat to you. Let's go home.
Well, in his defense, he at this point he still thinks that she went to Colorado.
He's an idiot. No, she didn't go to Colorado. Well, I'm assuming she just went to Colorado like I told her to, even though she told me she wasn't going to like 15 times. But her life is on the line. God, you are dumber than a fucking pile of hair, Jake. And sure as shit, Lincoln's there. He's got a gun, points it at his throat, and would have blown him away if it hadn't been for the one thing he never expected. The boys.
The power of friendship.
The boys are there. They got fucking tools. So there's a rumble.
There's a rumble, and this is great because his henchmen just like multiply out of nowhere, out of thin air, so that there can be more fighting.
They can have a rumble. Fucking director was like, yeah, I mean, he's only had two guys.
Spawn some henchmen.
It's been him and this other dude this whole time, but he has just henchers come running in for rumble. And then his Crowzar shows up with his
Ernie
men.
Kovar.
And he tells them to get the hell out of there. And then he shoots Lincoln in the chest for not paying him. So that problem is solved. Back at the shop, the boys, they're popping champagne because somebody repoed a $60,000 Mercedes, or one of the boys won $75,000 at the racetrack.
Jam won.
Or because Lincoln King is dead. I have no idea why these guys are popping bubbly, but that's what they're doing. And they're not celebrating the fact that they're all out of a bunch of fucking money other than Jam, because all of them fucking bet on the guy who beat the trial time by a minute and 10 seconds. They're all out of their freaking paychecks, including the boss.
Actually, I think Jam's still under 10 grand because he put 85 on Jake to win.
Right? God damn it. What are you guys celebrating for? And then Jake shows up and he brings Jenny and his landlady. Hey, she's back.
His landlady's like, hey, I'm going to bang you, Blondie. He's like, okay.
And then he immediately turns around and leaves. He drops
like,
off.
all right, see you guys tomorrow. Okay. I guess he's like, well, yeah, you stopped the car. I'm not going to be able to explain why I did that to you or myself, but I think Minnesota repoed my life or something, so I work here now. See you tomorrow.
That's it. Nobody says, what happened?
What?
Why did you stop at the finish line? You fucking idiot. Okay, bye, Jake.
Bye. And then I have never seen what happens next, because Jam does a rap. Freeze frame credits.
Yep. Oh, wait up.
The movie starts going again. They fucked up freeze frame credits.
Right.
I've never seen that happen before.
Wrote it down, freeze frame credits, and then nope. The shop
or not.
The shop goes back to doing regular chopping business and shenanigans that most of the movie was about. It's like they just crammed some extra footage. And then Jake and Jenny are back on their rooftop, and she's in a fancy dress and twirling around because she's an actress wannabe. And he's like, my penis doesn't work. I haven't fixed that problem in this movie. Didn't really fix any problems in this movie, to tell you the truth. We just kind of repos cars that weren't needing to be repoed because we're thieves. And that's the movie. So, questions. Why did he stop?
What life lesson could be learned by him stopping the car?
What is our artistic interpretation of him stopping the car? Jackie, give me any possible theory, because I'm stuck.
He had a change of heart where he was like, okay, the land in Minnesota is already fucked because there's a freeway through it now, and I can fuck myself, which is fine because they're going to repossess me anyway, but I can actually fuck this Lincoln King guy completely.
And
so
he has no idea.
You know, I don't do a whole lot of fucking, so at least I'm going to be fucking something for once. Even if it is myself.
But he has no idea what kind of trouble Lincoln King is in, so this can't be his plan.
He has no idea. A man who, A, doesn't know who he is, because at no point was it revealed while he repoed that SL did he go, oh, and my name's Jake Baxter, don't forget it, Buster. He walks in there, throws those guys around, they're unconscious when he takes the keys, and goes, they can't have followed him. They don't know who he is. But B, he also doesn't know who he is. He doesn't know who Lincoln King is and what all his shit is, just other that he's a scumbag pimp. Okay.
But when they try to hang the girlfriend, he does tell him, look, I'm putting a bunch of money on you and you better fucking win.
Right.
So he's just doing it to screw King.
Shit. Why, though? He's going to die. A man has threatened to kill you and your girlfriend. You got two options. You go to the fucking cops or you do what that guy says.
Let's be realistic. He did hop out on his first wife when she was dying from the accident that he caused. Which he doesn't have a good track record here.
Yeah, but his track record was winning goddamn races while his girlfriend was dying. Now he's just like, well, I'm going to park it. What the fuck, dude?
Well, that's what he did when his wife died. Like, she's like, okay, I'm dying. And he's like, piss off. I'm going to go racing. Uh-huh. They're like, she died. And he's like, well, I quit racing now. And they're like, why? That doesn't make any sense. You didn't give two shits a minute ago.
Yeah. God, Jackie, that doesn't work. It's contradictory. That doesn't work at all.
There's no way to explain why he stops the car. There isn't. There is nothing you can do. Even, like, pooping wouldn't work because he just sits in the car. Uh-huh. So he wanted to poop on himself in a still car?
Right.
He just sits there. It doesn't make any sense.
The movie could have done one thing to explain this, and it could have showed him in post going up and getting all of his winnings because he bet on Jam, and he actually did throw the race. But that doesn't happen.
No, it doesn't.
All worked out because I won. But now it's super dumb. I mean, I think we're stuck. This is just a dead end right there. There's nowhere to go. At no point is it resolved.
I don't know if you can answer any of the questions here. Because I have one other question that no one will have the answer to.
Okay.
Who is Bucky Slash?
Bucky Slash? What?
In the middle of the race, all of a sudden the guy called her. He's like, oh, here comes Bucky Slash. And then he's just talking about Bucky Slash for the last half of the race, and we never see him.
Oh, man, poor Bucky Slash. I also like Bucky Slash's fans, because every time something bad happens to Bucky Slash, they just have the same shot of these four fans going, it's the same shot.
So weird.
My question is, we got two choices here on what happens after the end of the movie. Jenny dumps him after her first acting role is awarded to her, or does she never make it and stays as a florist?
She doesn't work at a
plant store.
She works at a plant store.
Yeah, does she stay at the plant store?
I'm thinking she stays at the plant store. Yeah.
Because
I think she tries for 6 more years, and then he's like, look, you're getting past childbearing years. We got to do this.
Okay, I like it.
Because Viagra finally comes out. So then they move back to Minnesota.
Soggy bottom boner boys are in action. Yeah, that's right. It was like right around 96, Jackie. Good timelining, continuity. I like it. Rudge, nudge, grin. And because if she gets a job, like her first red carpet, she's like, goodbye, Jake. Why would I have anything to do with you at all? But if she's a florist, she's dependent upon him, and he's kind of dependent upon her too. So they make it. Viagra saves
even though he's 20 years her senior.
Right. Okay, I've got one more. Jam just made, unless Sam's right, but let's for the sake of the movie, Jam just made $75,000. Anything happen with that we can think of, or does he just spend it all on speakers?
I think they're spending it on the bullshit in their cars.
Right.
Like all of it.
$75K in 1990s, a pretty big chunk of change.
Everyone in this movie is an idiot.
Everyone in this movie, yeah. Not to mention that $75K was acquired illegally because this race is like, oh, they just ignore us. It's not sanctioned. It's illegal. They say it like 5 times in the movie.
I know what Jam does with the money.
Okay.
He builds an even faster race car for the same race. It's like not realizing that he's topped out already.
That's so dumb. All right, final recommendations. I'm going to go first. Absolutely. I fucking loved this movie. I did not think I was going to, but from the first second with the shots of the city and that stupid music, I was like, okay, here we go. And other than the race taking too long, I reduced it 1 star for that. But other than that, it would have been an 8-star movie, which is pretty fucking high for a movie I'd never even heard of, that nobody fucking talks about. Definitely do. There is no scenario where you shouldn't watch this movie. Awesome. Jackie.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a do too. It was highly entertaining. It was funny. The music was terrible. The plot line doesn't really make sense sometimes, but you know, you really do
Forever.
You really do like Dan Fogarty's.
Dan Fogarty.
Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play.
Yeah, Dan Fogarty.
Dan Haggerty.
You even fucked up John Fogarty.
John Fogarty.
Dan Haggerty. You really do like his character, and you know.
No, you don't. He's a piece of shit.
I don't know. I'm gonna give it a do. I liked it.
Yeah, I love him. He's a good guy. No, he let his fucking wife die. He wasn't there.
And he steals cars and beats up pimps. Yeah. Not because the pimp thing is like just incidentally good.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit about human trafficking at all. He just wants the fucking keys so that he can be the hero of his shop. He sucks. He's a bad person. And it all revolves around his erectile dysfunction. If this junk worked, there would be no problems. That's not an excuse, buddy. God damn. Okay, Sam.
Yeah, it's definitely a do. I did not expect it to be this good, and it was the same way. Like, once it started, I was like, oh shit, we are in for something here. And even the dry spots, due to the sort of oddness and nonsensical nature of the film, even the boring stuff you're like staring at going, this doesn't even make sense.
No. And I was riffing the whole damn time. It's a good riffer. The only section is that there needs to be about 5 minutes taking off the race. But you could probably redo the race and listen to that announcer rather, because, you know, the whole time I'm sitting there writing notes and I'm looking for things that are happening, and nothing was happening during the race, and it was garbled mess, and we couldn't even tell who was winning. That voiceover the whole time was, you know, maybe there's something there.
I actually didn't mind the race being too long because it was so too long that it became confusing to the point of comedy. Because I'm like, I can't even... There's just cutting back and forth from these guys that are upset to him in a car. Then there's the upset guys again. And you're like, I don't even know what's happening in this race. And the man that's telling me is saying things that don't make sense. Like, here comes Bucky Slash. Not who's in first or something like that.
Oh, also, Dan Haggerty was doing some of the driving. Lots of shots of him inside the actual car driving. It wasn't necessarily dangerous driving, but he did do some of the driving work. So maybe he did all the driving work. I don't know. I'd be curious about that. Next week on the show is Jackie's Pick. Let's go. Toots, you got something, right?
You know how I said earlier in the show how I was making more of an effort to, like, you know, not be a piece of shit? I was just kidding. I don't have another movie picked out yet. I'm going to. I promise.
I'm fearful. Every time you're not prepared, it's usually something terrible. But we'll see. Guys, have a great week. Get to the chopper.